Hey guys, Eclipse14 here, and welcome to my Nintendo 3DS collection, which will conclude my Nintendo series on this collection update section. Not much has really changed. Everything's been kind of sitting from the last time I posted it. Sitting at 11 games right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and fly by them. So let's get started. Game number one is Super Mario 3D Land, which I have completed all the way through, including the crown stage, and it was a fun game, not going to lie. One of my first 3DS games given as a Christmas present, and I have kept it with me ever since. I have not actually played this game since I fully completed it, so not too much to comment otherwise. I should note I also own the Prima Strategy Guide for this, in the form of the mini style, the only case of it I have of such, which is in good shape. There is some insect dung on the front cover, but I can probably clean that up. But regardless of that, I got a full set, and I'm glad to have it. It's a good game. Game number two is Mario and Luigi Dream Team, which I never actually finished. I got a good chunk into the game, but got stuck and stopped playing. So that's unfortunate. Which sucks because I actually really liked this game. I just never got around to playing it again after I got stuck. So yeah, complete set with the game and manual, and not much to comment on otherwise. I do want to complete this game, but hopefully I can get my 3DS fixed. The R button isn't working. Game number three is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. This was actually how I got introduced to Ocarina of Time, and I did complete this version, which is the reason why I didn't play it as much on the Nintendo 64 version. Game and manual, all in decent shape, and I should also note that I also own the strategy guide for this one. A nice big copy, which looks pretty decent, apart from the very bottom left here being tore up. But other than that, I used this guide pretty much the entire way through the game, because I got it with my copy of the game, so I'm pretty happy with that, and it was a very enjoyable experience. Game number four is Trip Saga. This game was an online order, which is my 7th overall in the series. This game was actually really fun. I used to play it on the WiiWare when my cousin had demos of it on his Wii, and I managed to find a copy of this game on the 3DS, and I was like, hey, that would catch my interest. I have completed this entire game. I was finally able to do so pretty late 2020, with Trip Core finally being finished, because that game used to kick my butt a huge amount of times. But other than that, I did manage to finally complete the game, and it is a really awesome game. If you can find it, I definitely check it out because it really is cool. Game number five is Bravely Default. This game I actually attempted to try to complete, but somewhere around the line I faltered and just stopped playing it and never came back, which is a bit unfortunate because I had some interest in the game and I actually liked it, so I don't know what caused the faltering, but it happened. So anyway, there's the cartridge, there's the manual, and that's really all I got to say. Not too much to comment on otherwise. Yeah, I think I could probably just restart and do a second playthrough, but this isn't too high on my priority list when it comes to games I want to complete, so that might be a while. Game number six is Code of Princess. This game I don't remember too much either. I only played it for like 15 minutes, and that was about it. I know there's a soundtrack bundle edition of this game, which is actually what I'm holding out for if I can find it. Hopefully I'll be able to find that someday. There's the cartridge, and there is the nice big manual. Look at that. Very nice and thick. Again, not too much to comment on this one otherwise. It's mostly been a placeholder, although I might play it for a little bit longer when I have a chance. Game number seven is Project Cross Zone, or Project X Zone as some people might call it. This game was also an online order, which is my 8th overall, and the box itself is in pretty fair shape. It's got a lot of crunching on the sides and some spots, and that's about it. Yeah, I got the limited edition version for a reason. Let me go ahead and open the sucker up. Okay then. So here's the game itself, which I have completed twice from start to finish. It's a game I enjoyed and anticipated its release. As soon as I realized it came out, I was hoping to find a limited edition copy, and I picked it up. Oh, I slipped that up a little bit. Anyway, here's the soundtrack, which is still completely sealed, not touched whatsoever, so that's pretty good. I like it that way. There is the art book, which is really nice, features all the characters. And finally, the Project Crosszone poster, which I'm not going to open, and there is some cornerware on each one. Someone apparently tacked it or something. So yeah, nice complete set. Definitely enjoy it. And I kind of wish Project Crosszone 2 had its own limited edition. There was one in Japan, but it didn't come out in this region. Speaking of that game, game number 8 is Project Crosszone 2. Unlike the first game, I never really tried to complete this one. I only got past a couple tutorial stages and then kind of fell out trying to finish other games. This game is definitely a top concern when it comes to completing games this year, but the only issue I've got currently is that my 3DS's R button doesn't seem to work, so I gotta figure out how to get that repaired because without that, this game and the majority of my other games are basically unplayable if that button doesn't work. Still a very top priority when it comes to beating games this year, though. Game number 9 is 7th Dragon 3, Code VFD. This is the launch edition, which I managed to get before the game was actually supposed to launch, thanks to a dude that I knew. So, yeah, I've basically taken care of this sucker, because I am the original owner. For the most part, anyway. Try to take care of it. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, show what's inside. This game is honestly weird because you have to open the bottom to actually get the game out. The top is actually covered in brackets for some reason, and I usually open from the top to begin with, like a normal person. Anyway, here is the game. Gonna go ahead and open it up. This is the cartridge, and there is no manual because it went digital around this time, so oh well. Alongside that is a art book, which features all of the characters in the game, which is pretty awesome looking, and I've tried to make it pretty clean. Seen a complete copy of this thing, and the launch edition generally run around $55–$60, and I'm just glad to be an original owner for something that I bought on an impulse and actually turned out to be pretty good. I did manage to complete the game, and would recommend it if you can actually find it. Game number 10 is ETRY Odyssey 4 Legends of the Titan, with the music CD and the design book. So this is the complete limited set. I'm going to go ahead and try to open this thing, even though I freaking hate these boxes because they're so easy to screw up. Okay, done. Here's the game itself, which I have put in a good chunk of time, but never finished it. Definitely was trying to by the time my R button broke. So, yeah, I'm having general trouble trying to deal with that. There's the cartridge, and for whatever reason, there's a DS precautions booklet instead of a 3DS one. I find that very strange, but this was a rather earlier release on the 3DS, so whatever. Then there's the Music and Art Collection book, which at the very end has the music CD connected. I always found it pretty cool that you actually mixed that little section with the book itself. That's really neat to do. Complete copy of the limited edition I've seen about $60, so it is probably a decent investment, I suppose, although some of the other ETRY games can go for about that price as well. And my last game for the 3DS, game number 11, goes to Shin Megami Tensei IV. This is the full limited edition pack, which is nice and beastly with this nice big setup. And on the right here, you can see that I can just simply slide everything out. Look at that. Don't have to do any of that BS whatsoever in terms of cutting. So as you can see here, here is the game itself, which is pretty good. I only played a little bit of it. Never made a full attempt to finish it. I know how long these games go, so it's going to be a massive investment if I decide to fully go for it. Alongside that is the soundtrack, the music collection, which is still sealed with the little tablet right there. And this big book is actually a partial strategy guide from Prima, I believe it was. So yeah, nice stuff indeed. It has helped me a little bit try to get through the game. Doesn't cover everything though, because I've seen it does a lot more outside of that. Complete copy of the limited edition for a little bit a couple months ago would go for $100. Nowadays I'm thinking it's around 80, and yeah, it's just a nice little setup overall. Not bad for $20 to pay for it, because I had wanted a 3DS game back then, and I got a good one. And that's the end of the Nintendo 3DS collection. Hope you guys enjoyed. Next time, I'm going to be covering the Xbox, which is. I only own the original Xbox, and that's it. So there's no 360, One, Series X, and all that. So I can just cover that little thing and then quickly move on to another platform. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my 3DS collection, and hope to see you guys on the Xbox collection. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.